Hello YouTube and welcome to another video. This one is going to be two parts because I've got a whole bunch of little things that couldn't make videos on their own, but it's important information if you follow my videos. So in this one I'm going to be doing some work on my X2, going out to the lake and showing you guys some new gear that I got. Also, setting up to do a comparison between the Hero 7 and the Hero 9. Most of the action is going to take place in part 2 of the video, but if I didn't put part 1 in, it would all just be very confusing. I'm going to release part 1 and part 2 of this video on the same day so you guys can watch them back to back if you want, but I didn't want to release it as 1 hour-long video because, well, that just doesn't work for most people. Anyway, let's get into it. The reason why this was acting up on my last ride is because there's a hole in this coupler here. At the front there's a big rip and you can see there's actually some black sooty staining along there. So I'm going to pull the exhaust off and I'm going to have to get a new piece for there. I'm hoping to replace the whole elbow with a one-piece silicone or rubber hose. Basically in there now there is a aluminum 90-degree elbow and one hose goes in one side and then another hose goes between that fitting and the water box. It's complicated. It doesn't make any sense. It means that you have to run 4 hose clamps instead of 2, and yeah, it doesn't allow for the exhaust to move quite as freely. I'm probably going to have to haul the whole exhaust system off to get at this, but I thought I would try. Looks like at the very least I'm going to have to pull these bolts off so that I can slide the exhaust backwards. Okay, so I got the bolt out in the rear of the exhaust and slid it back a little bit. And I think I can pull, oh yeah. And there's the problem. When I was putting the engine in, I noted that these hoses weren't in very good shape, and I said, I'm going to replace all those hoses because they're all stiff and cracked. And then I didn't replace them. And this one's in even worse shape. I don't know that these are the original hoses. They kind of don't seem very good. The place that I was thinking of going is closed, so I might go to just the auto parts store that's fairly close to me and see if they have, yeah, something. The hose below this one is actually a braided, it kind of reminds me of a radiator hose. It's a braided hose, and these are just, yeah, this stuff is just kind of crappy. As with most things in life, this didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it. This is what I got. So I got some Continental hose made in Canada. Look at that. It's very high quality stuff, and so yeah. I couldn't find anything with a 90, and if I did find a 90, it probably wouldn't have been sharp enough. I will continue to try to find a silicone 90 with a better end, but yeah, not too concerned about it. We'll use this, and that will get us going. So I don't know that I mentioned it in a video, but my neighbor Keegan was over at my house the other day, and he's a fidgeter. He plays with everything, which is both a good thing and a bad thing because it's largely how you learn from things. It's fiddling around and seeing how they work. But unfortunately, he decided to open the gas door on the front of my X2. Why did I say it like that? X2. So yeah, he opened the gas door on my X2 and he couldn't get it shut. And instead of continuing to try to get it shut, he gave up on it. And so when I drove to the lake yesterday, my gas door didn't make it all the way to the lake. Yeah, I'll show you guys how it goes on here. I could put some oil or grease on it and it would slip on quite easily, but then it might also slip off quite easily. So there we go, that's how easy it goes on. Now I just need to cut one more piece to go between the stinger and this elbow and slide everything together. And then I can take it out for a test ride. That went pretty well, I think. No sense going real crazy with it until I figure out if it's the right length, because I might need to cut it again. Well, that ended up being way harder than I expected. I ended up cutting a 1/2 inch off of the longer one and about a 1/4 inch off of the shorter one. And it was still a real struggle. I had to try about 4 or 5 different ways to make it actually work or to get it in there. And I also found out that this bolt hole is stripped out, which is completely my fault. I knew it was loose and I left it loose and it damaged the threads. I'm hoping to get out tomorrow to test the exhaust and to check to see if my carburetor adjustments are even close. With the exhaust being disconnected like that, I was probably having some carburetor tuning issues. I noticed at the end of it, it seemed like it was running a bit rich, but probably what it was doing is pulling in a bunch of exhaust fumes. I don't imagine that this just split open all in one. It was probably leaking a little bit through and then gradually split. Also, I want to test my handlebar warmer setup slash wetsuit heater. So basically I teed into the coolant line here, ran it up to the handlebars, and so hot water should go through my handlebars, and I made it so that I can put hoses out of here into the arms of my wetsuit. Not sure if it's going to be too hot or if it will flow any water, but I want to test it out. Should be fun. Looks pretty decent as far as wind goes. Might have a good day. Might have a good day on the water. If the jet ski decides it's gonna work. It is Friday, October 2nd. The last time that I was here last year was, October 7th. And yeah, it was really, really nasty cold. So yeah, hopefully this year I get a lot more riding. I have done a few things that hopefully will allow me to get a lot more riding done. And one of those things is buying a wetsuit. Oh, the same people that were here the other day are here again today. Wonder if they got their boat working. 21 degrees basically. And I'm going to now check the water temperature and see what it says. See if I can do this without dropping my multimeter in the water. Water temperature 15.2, and that is in the sun, so it's obviously cooler than that. If I point it out there, getting 9 or 10 degrees, which is probably more accurate. So I'm not going to take this out on my jet ski because I don't want to ruin it by dropping it in the water. But the water is somewhere between 15 and 10 degrees Celsius. As you know, I have this 2mm Jetpilot wetsuit, which I planned on wearing today for part 1 of the test. I have my neoprene life jacket and my 2mm Jetpilot jacket. But the other day, I got this Neosport 5mm. This is gonna keep me warm. Alright, I got into this once at home. I managed to get my feet in, even though I got them a little bit wet unloading the jet ski. And we'll see if I can get my top bits in. This is a fairly inexpensive wetsuit, and I don't think it fits me terribly well because I'm in between sizes. Basically, I'm in between small and medium, and I chose to go with the smaller one because I didn't want it to be loose, and so it's quite snug. But I think once I fall in the water once, it'll be good. It's going to be tricky to actually get it zipped up here. I kind of have to do this thing where I like lean ahead and that actually wasn't too bad. But now I got to try to close the neck thing without catching myself. You know what? I made a big deal out of nothing. This definitely limits mobility more than my Jetpilot, but I'm assuming it's going to keep me quite warm. I think I mentioned it in one of my last videos that I have problems with my hands and feet because of nerve damage in both of them, but this is going to keep my core nice and warm, hopefully anyway. So if I need to, I also have a hood. I bought booties and gloves, but I didn't get them yet, so yeah, I'm not wearing them today. But the plan is to be able to keep riding much later into the year. I'm hoping as well, if things get really nasty, when things get really nasty, that I'll be able to put my Jetpilot suit on underneath this, or possibly over. It is fairly inexpensive. It was, I think, under $200 Canadian for a 5mm suit, and it was rated quite well. But yeah, I'll let you guys know what I think. Alright, I do also have the Hero 9 with me, and I'm going to be shooting some with it. I'm going to try doing the horizon stabilization and see if it works with the camera upside down. I'm guessing it won't. Normally I wear the camera under my visor and I shoot the footage all upside down, but I'm guessing with horizon stabilization that's going to do some funny things. So what I'm going to do at first is wear the Hero 7 like that and put the Hero 9 on top of my... For those of you paying attention to the background of my videos, you may have seen the Neosport wetsuit hanging out. It has made a couple of appearances. I have since received the Neosport booties, which are also 5mm, and I will be testing them out in an upcoming video. I will be testing the Neosport wetsuit in the next part of this video, and as I showed at the first of this video, the water temperature is about 14 degrees Celsius, so pretty chilly. Coming up in the next part of this video, I will be testing the horizon leveling of the Hero 9 against the regular stabilization of the Hero 7. Both cameras are set at 2.7K, so that should be interesting. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one. The other video will be published at the same time, so if you want to go ahead and watch that one, feel free to do so. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. They're both set at 2.7K, so that should be interesting. Anyway, that's going to do it for next one.